The stages that are involved in lesson study, all right, include giving a pretest, and the reason for doing this is to reveal the variations in the ways that students understand an object of learning. Teachers can conduct student interviews. How many teachers do this, by the way? Very few. And that's why this is quite a radical way of looking at teaching and learning. And because it's radical, it changes, I think, it changes people's way of looking at teaching and learning. Then teachers try and plan the lesson, all right? They talk about how do we develop students' capability. They teach the lesson and they collect evidence of student learning. And then they evaluate the lesson. They say, does it work? Why does it work? Why does it not work? If it doesn't work, replan. So there's no such thing as a perfect lesson. The focus is on the students' learning. If the students are not learning, as measured by your assessment, replan the lesson. So in summary, we've got this as the stages of lesson study. However, we have gone beyond lesson study, and in the schools that we are working with, we are trying what we call the learning study, which is the hybrid of lesson study. The difference between learning study and lesson study is that in the learning study, we incorporate a theory of learning. And that theory of learning we use is called the variation theory of learning. According to Martin and Booth, there is no learning without discernment, and no discernment without variation. Let's see whether this works, okay? And I'm going to get you a little bit involved here. We've got these three things here: ik, ook, and onk. Can you guess the meanings of ik, ook, and onk? Anybody? Numbers? Okay. Anyone else? Indication? Okay. Right. Anyone else?
Direction.
Colors? Shapes? Directions. Okay, thank you. So students, when they say this, they'll come up with different ways of experiencing this. Am I right? Okay. But if I try and remove the variation a little bit and show you this, what do you think now? So it's colors now, yeah? So other possibilities? Could be shapes, could be colors. Right, so we've got a few more possibilities, but we have discounted other possibilities. Is that correct? But if I show you this, right, now it comes to numbers. And why is it that you guys are able to do this?
Great.
Always have grades. Well, I'll tell you why. If I go back to this line, it's because you guys have discerned the critical aspects of the object of learning. And you experience those critical aspects because you experience variation. Without variation, there is no discernment. And without discernment, there is no learning. And this is the kind of theory that we want to use in our classrooms. Yeah? Now, if you want to read a little bit more about this, okay, I can go a little bit deeper into this, but since time is running out, have a look at this book by Lo Man Ling, 2005, For Each and Everyone, Catering for Individual Differences Through Learning Studies, Hong Kong. Okay, have a look at this. The thing I want to focus on here is, we identify the critical aspects of objects of learning, and then we try to systematically vary one aspect, holding other aspects constant. And every time we vary one aspect, holding others constant, students will have the opportunity to discern the aspect that is varied. And according to the theory as well, to understand the fuller object of learning, the students should have experienced the full critical aspects. And to do that, we get the students to experience simultaneously all the critical aspects. An example, okay? And this is with regards to A-level accounting. Now, those of us who have done accounting, this is quite scary, isn't it? Quite scary. So, I want to show you this example. In one of the sessions, what we tried to do was to focus on point number 7, because that's an area that students have difficulties in. Okay? And then the teachers came up with a pretest. They designed this pretest. And then we taught this lesson using the variation theory of learning. I would love to explain this, but time is really running out. But the point I'm trying to make here is, when we applied this, we varied one aspect at a time, so that we could focus the students' attention on what is critical. And then we varied all the critical aspects simultaneously, so that the students will be able to have a fuller understanding of the object of learning. And the results came back to us like this. Is that okay? Would you be happy if you are a teacher? If you get this kind of results? Before the pretest, 20% and 36% couldn't get the methods right. And after that, more than 3/4 got it right. Okay. So, we have been doing quite a lot of this, learning studies, since last year, but I've been doing this for the last 6 years, and that's the focus of my thesis. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.